it's happy.
From the icy cold depths of despair that is wintertime in the heartland, welcome to Smoky Goodness 2.0. Tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to be doing 2 large pork butts out here on the grill dome. Since it's so cold out here, I'm going to put all of my faith and trust into the grill dome. I haven't done a pork shoulder or a pork butt on the grill dome yet, and I've had the thing for over a year. So, yeah, it's always been the Smokinator out here on the Weber. So, man, this wind is horrible. I'm going to put my faith in the grill dome. I'm also going to put a little less faith into this. This is the Weber style 6741 wireless thermometer. I'm going to do a quick maybe unboxing and review of this thing. Boston butts are not necessarily politicians from Massachusetts. Pork shoulder. Anyway, let's get going. Stick around, Herb. Here we go, the Weber style 6741 wireless thermometer. You know, the first thing that bothers me about this, even before I open the box, is that there are something like 14 different languages printed right here on the back of the box. Who knows what the owner's manual is going to look like? Let's find out. All right, let's open this bad rabbit up and see what we've got. I'm afraid it's going to be a bad rabbit, a real bad rabbit. All right, here it is. Just as I thought. Look at that. The owner's manual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 languages. Okay, the first thing we find is the receiving unit. I didn't check the reviews until after I bought this thing. It was probably a mistake. At least they had the presence of mind to include some batteries. 2 AA, 2 AAA, and of course the probes. Look like a standard run-of-the-mill every day you've seen one, you've seen them all, garden variety probes. And my big concern for this evening is whether or not this base unit will stand up to the snow that we're supposed to get tonight. If you want, you can leave the whole unit outside. Rests in here really nicely, but why? This stand is cheap. You gotta be really, really careful with it. Otherwise, you know, it's going down. Jeez. And I like Weber products. I will get on to the rest of this review a little bit later this evening as we're getting the pork ready to go on the grill. I've read that these 2 units are very, very difficult to sync up. Matter of fact, a lot of people said that they sync up. The directions in this manual are really hard to understand, but once they're synced, if for some reason you lose contact or this loses contact with this, you have to resync. Sometimes you have to resync by taking the batteries completely out and reinserting them. Pain in the ass, but we'll see. But I'll mess around with this in about an hour or 2. We'll be back. Stick around, Herb. Pork butt number 1. Pork butt number 2. This is a 9-pounder. This is a 7-pounder. That's 16 pounds of pulled pork. Why so much porkage there, Mr. Smoky Goodness guy? That's because I'm catering a big event tomorrow night. My son's blue and gold banquet from Cub Scouts. He's crossing over into Boy Scouts. I got a lot of people to feed. I scored the fat cap here as usual, just scored it, didn't cut anything off. This one doesn't really have much of a fat cap per se, so I just lightly scored it. This one's going on top, this one's going on the bottom. I'm gonna hit it with some mustard. And now, our secret weapon. Good morning. We're at just a little over 12 hours on this cook, and it smells really good out here. You know, I mentioned last night that I'm kind of a hands-on guy when it comes to long, low, and slows like this, and I'm still a hands-on type of guy when it comes to long, low, and slow like this. What performed well overnight? Of course, the grill dome. I mean, you really can't ask much more than perfection from the grill dome, because the grill dome always delivers perfection. And what didn't perform so well overnight? You guessed it. This thing. You know, during the first 2 or 3 hours of the cook last night, I was willing to give this thing the benefit of a doubt, and I was actually going to rate it about 4 stars. Maybe 4, 4.5, because at first it seemed to be doing really well, but about halfway through the night last night, alarm bells started ringing on this thing, and I was nowhere near my target temperature. They'd go off, I'd shut it off, or shut off the alarm, and a couple of minutes later, beep, 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 beep. Kind of drove my wife crazy. One thing I really don't like about this is that although you can set a target temperature for your high range, you know, you don't want to go past a certain temperature, this thing will start beeping when you're 10 degrees below that temperature. Maybe that's the standard with all of these things. I think I read, was it Mavericks or DigiQ or something, always set, you know, your temperature 10 degrees above what your actual target temperature is. So that might be a mistake on my part. But what really bothers me about this is that you cannot set a low temperature. You know, you can't set a low limit. Say the grill may have dropped below 225 degrees, and you know, we're sleeping. How am I going to know that? But it didn't, because it's a grill dome. So all that being said, I figure since it's been 12 hours, trust the old thermopop. Go for what you know. You can rely on the things that you can rely on. Let's see how we're doing here. After 12 hours, I'm sure we're there. I don't think I'm in a stall. Let's check that out right now, shall we? Man, it smells good out here. Here, rotate this thing. There we go. And the 192, about 3 degrees to go there. So that's got a ways to go yet. So we'll let that ride just like that for a little while. Maybe an hour or so. I'm going to crank up the heat just a bit. And we'll be back. It smells good out here. You ready?
Gathered here today